All right. Hey everyone. So the first question: select the top three pieces of advice offered and top three worst pieces of advice offered by chapter 13. The three top that I chose were the practice makes perfect section. I really think that, I've used that in my speaking history, and practicing has definitely made it easier to give the speech when it comes time. Eye contact was a big one. I think that having not necessarily direct eye contact with someone in the crowd, but like kind of just looking out into the crowd will definitely help you like speak more comfortably because you're talking to people rather than reading something off of a paper or looking down at a board or something like that. And then the third one that I really liked was the sense of play, like kind of just have fun with it because like you're gonna mess up, it's bound to happen, especially if you speak a lot. But if you like know that it's gonna happen and you just have fun with it, just like anything, like it's gonna go better, and because you're gonna have a good attitude about it. So the worst three, I didn't really have any that were like this is horrible advice, but the three I picked were kind of like not very clear to me, if that makes sense. So I picked the PowerPoint and supporting aids section because it kind of like there was like this supporting aids section and then there was the demonstration section, and it wasn't really clear like what was what or if they were different or the same, and that kind of confused me. The team presentations kind of confused me because it almost seemed like that would just be like a team presentation wouldn't really be, especially if you used an organizer, like it's kind of multiple different presentations, like it's not all one presentation, it doesn't seem like, if you have someone splitting up each presentation. So that kind of confused me. And then the outline advice confused me because it was kind of all over the place, like use an outline but don't use an outline, and this and that, and don't do this on an outline but you need to do this. And so kind of just confusing, right? And so that leads me right into the next question. What are the benefits and drawbacks of outlining your speech? If you have outlined a presentation, for example, one of these videos, and have also presented without an outline or notes, talk about the differences between presenting with and without notes. What do you believe is more effective? Why? How does it fit with text? So the benefits of an outline obviously are you're going to be more organized, you're going to know what you're talking about, and the book talks about that. And the drawbacks that the book talked about, at least, were you're going to be more monotone, you're going to be more if you do like strictly by the outline, or like reading a manuscript is the example it gave, like you're gonna be more monotone because you're just reading it, like there's no emotion to it. But in my personal experience, I took a public speaking class last year as a requirement, and I actually learned a lot from the class. I really enjoyed the class, and I got a fairly good grade in it. So I think I'm a decent public speaker if I try sometimes. But the thing that I noticed is we progressively built up our speaking. So like the first one we would read up to the last one, we could only have like 5 words on a sticky note. And I think that was the best speech I gave of the year because it would like I had my ideas in the 5 words. Like I had 5 little sections that I knew I needed to talk about, but it was all like coming from me. So I was just talking and it was more comfortable, if that makes sense. So that's one thing that I noticed. And I think the book kind of talks about that a little bit, but not exactly in that tech context. Third question: using information presented in the chapter, discuss and be specific. Your best video discussion main post, review it, apply course material to it, and explain what makes it your best post. So kind of tying into number 2, I think my best post was my introduction post just because I've had so much practice with that. And even number 1, like practice makes perfect, right? So like I've introduced myself to people a whole bunch of times, and when they ask all these questions, it's like, yeah, my name's Ethan Black. I'm from Ephrata. I have this many brothers, this many sisters. I played basketball, all this stuff. And it's like you repeat those things so much that it's just comfortable saying it. You know what I mean? So like I think that was probably my best. And just because I was comfortable talking about it, I've talked about it a lot. That repetition made it easier to talk about. And I didn't have as many vocal fillers and that kind of stuff that the book talks about. So yeah,